وإياكم بتقوى الله. My brothers, if there are any sisters may at the back, because usually many brothers, especially this country, they are the only ones who can make it to the masjid. First of all, I thank the people who run this place to establish the worshipping of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, establishing the wajibat, la siyama, the 5 daily prayers. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward them abundantly, and you who come and attend. I would like to thank you, all of you, also who take the time to come to these places. At the same time, if I was only to say one thing, and that will suffice, is to call upon you, your hearts, to come to these places, especially in this country. But please, if you've got your children, sons and daughters, please move along with them. Don't be hard on them. Don't be harsh on them. Be soft on them. But constantly do 3 things. 1, making dua to them. That's the first thing. Making dua, not telling them, oh, Rahma, Abu Bakr, I made dua for you to put on hijab. You refuse. No, not in that way. Make sure, ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي. Like that, and other dua which are in the Quran. If I was to pause and say, I just said 2 du'as. Anyone who knows in which surah those are? ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. Furqan, barakallahu fikum. And the رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة من ذريتي. Ibrahim. And what the surah the Sheikh recited this morning? Yunus, barakallahu fikum. If I say تبارك الذي جعل في السماء بروجا, what surah is that? Barakallahu fikum. Yes, you need to know these indicators, then, because don't be like, you say you mentioned the dua. You cannot be. I do always approach teachers that write for me what you taught or what you reminded. But at least it's good when in the audience someone can say, "Oh, I know that." Then you can benefit the others. Make dua to them in their absence. Number 2, teach them. Number 3, be patient with them. And number 4, attract them. Because if you don't, most of you, as I can see in your faces, including me, most of you came to this country as visitors or from another land to this land. And many of you came along with your children and struggled to bring them here. Or you struggled to have children. Some of you are planning to go back. You say, "Oh, me, no, I'm not gonna die here. I'm gonna go where?" And some of you have built mansions. Where? Offshore, back home. Or maybe you have a house here. Who is going to take care of this house? when you get old or when you die? Why do you build a mansion in Kenya, in Somalia, in Uganda, and you take your children once in 2 years to visit this mansion? And when you die, فَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, we've seen some of our children snatched, incarcerated, thrown into jail. One time I saw a child brought with what do you call them? Handcuffed, to say goodbye to the coffin of his mother. The mother is being taken to be buried. Where? In another country. And the boy is going to be driven. He was left to sit with the people in the gathering. Like you say, many of you have like a gatherings. And then the boy was taken away back to prison. I don't know whether he's still there, what happened, but that if I was to say only one thing, that would suffice. However, the Quran or the Sunnah is, when you give bad news, at least you need to give some good news. That's the Quran. طه ما أنزل إليك القرآن لتشقى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never revealed the Quran to us just to be gloomy faces, to be saddened. No, it's what? It's good, glad tidings as well. So inshallah, we in these remaining few minutes, I'll give you some glad tidings, inshallah, which you might take with inshallah. And this, I'm going to remind you very simple things, which I'll beg each one of you. Maybe you know it, but try not to forget it. Like yesterday we were in the muhadara, the sheikh was talking about something completely different. And then he realized that in the audience, either some people were paying attention, when he paused and he said, do you know the most stingy, the people who will be close at the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam yawm al-qiyamah? And people were giving answers, and other people, or the believers, and he said, those who send salutations to me a lot. So whenever, and then he said the most stingy one, the meaning of the hadith, are those when Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is mentioned, they don't send salutations to him. So when you're in a muhadara like this, make sure you remember it. So I said, okay, inshallah, I'll come up with something. Sometimes maybe you know it, sometimes you don't know it. And the hadith and Uqba ibn Amir قال كانت علينا رعاءة الإبل فجعلت نوبتي فروحتها بعشي فأدركت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قائما يحدث الناس فأدركت من قوله ما من مسلم يتوضأ فيحسن وضوءه ثم يقوم فيصلي ركعتين مقبل عليهما بقلبه ووجهه إلا وجبت له الجنة. There's no Muslim who make the Sahaba say, we used to be given the responsibility of looking after camels or animals. So it was my turn, in just to simplify the hadith. So I took the animals and then came back to join the mosque, and I found the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was standing and talking to the Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim, and he said alayhi salatu wassalam, there's no Muslim, and he didn't say the most iman of you, the most of iman of you, but he said it's no Muslim who makes wudu and is delicate in his wudu. He is so careful in his wudu. So he makes ablution as an act of what? Ibadah. Not most of you. Sometimes you're making wudu with your phone, talking or maybe, and sometimes you miss parts. I was amazed one time. I was between Mecca and Medina, and we stopped to a mosque. A lot of people were. It was a season of Hajj, and people were making wudu everywhere. But at a distance, I looked at a woman making wudu. I tried to look away, but she was so fast that in a flash of a second, you could see what she was doing. She had socks in her feet. She poured water on the feet, and that's her wudu. And then I looked at men. Some men were making wudu as well, and they were making almost the same wudu. I said, subhanallah, these are people who have come for Hajj, men and women, and this is how they make wudu. How about their prayer? If you cannot fulfill the wudu, how can you fulfill the manasik al-Hajj, the righteous of Hajj? So make your wudu, first of all, as a sign of what? Ibadah. Pay attention to it. Come and learn from the Imam. Come and learn to whoever you can seek knowledge from, and then see how they make wudu. Actually, in another wudu, who makes the wudu like mine. Like I said, ma min Muslimi, there's no Muslim who makes wudu يتوضأ فيحسن وضوءه, and he is careful in his making of wudu, and then his